Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are tackling a deeply frustrating mystery that's literally driving homeowners crazy right now. We're talking about the bizarre clash between cutting-edge induction stoves and household electrical panels. If you've ever upgraded a major appliance only to have your home's electrical system completely reject it, you are absolutely going to want to pay close attention to the evidence we've uncovered here. So let's just dive right into it. Our detective story actually starts with a pretty desperate plea from a Reddit user. You really got to feel for them. They dropped thousands of dollars on a brand new induction range, only to have it instantly, and I mean instantly, kill the kitchen's power. Not when they were boiling water or cooking a massive meal, but the exact second the thing was plugged in. Several service techs and even a brand new replacement range later, the exact same issue persisted. The stove itself wasn't broken. Something else was rejecting it.
So who's the prime suspect? Well, it's sitting right there in the electrical panel, a brand new 50-amp GFCI breaker. Now, because this user was switching from gas to electric, new wiring had to be run. And because this new stove outlet was located within 6 feet of the kitchen sink, modern electrical code legally required the use of a GFCI breaker to protect against electric shock. It's a safety device, right? It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. But as you'll see, it might be doing its job just a little too well.
Part 1. Investigating the panel and breaker basics.
To really solve this, we need to understand what these protective devices are actually doing when they trip. The Kata Appliance blog brilliantly illustrates the difference between the two main types of protection. First, you have an MCB, or miniature circuit breaker. That protects against overcurrent. It trips if you simply draw too much total power, like trying to pull 40 amps through a 32-amp limit. Easy enough. But then you've got an RCD, or residual current device, which functions just like the GFCI we just mentioned. This protects against earth leakage. It triggers in absolute milliseconds if it senses even a tiny amount of current escaping to the earth, because that usually means a human is getting shocked. And that brings us to earth leakage. That is exactly what the GFCI is hunting for. But here is the massive plot twist. Modern induction hobs, they actually produce a tiny, totally harmless amount of earth leakage just as a normal byproduct of their high-frequency electronics. We're talking usually between 4 and 9 milliamps. They literally leak by design. Part 2. Decoding the tripping patterns. The service manuals tell us that the specific timing of the trip is actually our best forensic clue. Think about it. If the power trips the literal second you switch it on, you've probably got a dead short inside the appliance. If it trips right after a pot boils over, liquid has bridged an electrical path inside and you've got to let it dry for a strict 24 to 48 hours. And if it only trips when you turn on, say, the back left burner, well, congratulations, you've successfully isolated a failing induction coil. But what if everything's totally dry? There's no short and no broken coil. Well, sometimes it's just user error, like overloading the circuit by running 4 zones on boost mode all at once. But the really interesting part? That normal induction leakage we just talked about can completely confuse older Type AC breakers. The fix, at least in some regions, is upgrading to newer Type A breakers that are specifically engineered to handle the complex waveforms of modern inverter-driven appliances. Part 3. Going under the hood with appliance diagnostics. Let's leave the wall panel for a second and actually crack open the vault to see how the stove's internal computer diagnoses itself. This schematic from a Wolf induction range manual shows the physical anatomy of the 5 separate heating zones we're looking at. Underneath that sleek glass top, it's not just basic wires. You have incredibly complex electromagnetic coils, cooling fans, and networked generator boards that are communicating with each other constantly. Because of all that tech, when a technician arrives, they don't just start ripping metal panels off. They literally talk to the computer. By starting in lock mode and holding the plus and minus pads for exactly 5 seconds, they can unlock a hidden diagnostic mode. And brilliantly, the very first thing the system does is safely disable all power to the high-voltage coil assemblies. That lets the tech test the digital brains without the risk of getting a massive shock. Now, if we're talking about a full range, the oven part actually has its own completely separate brain and diagnostic protocol. Right here on the electronic control housing, a tech has to hold the clock and timer buttons for 3 seconds, with the knob turned completely off, by the way, just to pull up the log of the last 7 error codes. It is quite literally like reading an airplane's black box. Part 4. Translating the error codes. Once we're in the diagnostic lab, we've got to translate all this hyper-specific data, and it paints a picture of an incredibly smart machine. These stoves actively monitor their own internal heat sinks. They don't just run until they melt.
At 176 degrees Fahrenheit, the stove proactively disables boost mode. By 192 degrees, it's throttling power down to 60%. And if it hits 210 degrees, it shuts the affected zones down completely. It is actively crippling its own power just to save its internal electronics. Now, if something critically fails beyond just getting a bit too warm, the stove starts throwing these really data-dense error codes. For example, an E2 code means a coil is dangerously hot, which means you need to check the cooling fans. An E8 is a direct fan error, which usually just means someone blocked the vent. But listen closely to that E6 code, power supply error. That means the incoming voltage from the wall itself is fundamentally wrong. And that brings us to a super common yet fascinating installation mistake known as the E6 trap. Because these newer induction ranges often look exactly like standard older appliances, people sometimes try to plug these massive, heavy-duty 240-volt systems straight into a standard 120-volt wall outlet. Big mistake. The internal computer instantly recognizes the voltage deficit and immediately locks the whole system down with an E6 error to prevent damage.
Part 5, the final verdict.
So let's take everything we've just learned about panels and diagnostics and go right back to our initial crime scene. What's the actual culprit here? Well, our Reddit user finally figured it out. Induction stoves don't just use power, they stage it at incredibly high frequencies to create those magnetic cooking fields. And standard GFCI breakers, the ones mandated by modern building codes, they fundamentally misinterpret these high-frequency pulses and that 4 to 9 milliamps of natural leakage we talked about as a deadly electrical fault. It's a complete communication breakdown between the smart appliance and the wall breaker. Which leads us to an incredibly satisfying but honestly kind of frustrating solution. Our Reddit user basically just ripped out their code-mandated GFCI breaker and completely replaced it with a traditional older-style breaker. And guess what? The false tripping stopped instantly. The stove works perfectly now. But think about that for a second. Technically, because that outlet was near a sink, they had to bypass the exact safety code meant to protect them just to be able to make dinner. Which leaves us with a pretty massive question to walk away with. We obviously want our kitchens to be as absolutely safe as possible, right? But we also want the amazing efficiency of modern induction cooking. So as our daily tech gets more and more complex, how quickly can strict, slow-moving building codes actually adapt to keep up with the physical reality of these incredible machines? It's a friction point I guarantee we're going to see a whole lot more of. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this helped illuminate the mystery.